Some of you are baking, others are seeing a good chance for rain. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here with you at Meteo Mundo on this Tuesday, April the 9th. I hope you've been having a great day. Coming up, we're going to talk about some areas where the rain chances are very high and temperatures are in the 70s, and other parts of our area absolutely baking. We've got some 90s, even some temperatures near 100 degrees. Now, as we get started, again, want to just say sorry that we weren't able to bring you the total solar eclipse live on the channel yesterday. Unfortunately, we were streaming it. It was looking great, but just about 10 minutes before totality, we did lose that Wi-Fi signal. Always knew that that was a possibility. That being said, we did have our correspondent there in Indiana, and he took some amazing videography of that total solar eclipse. So I want to show you that right now. I'm going to take myself off camera. This is a time lapse of that telescope recording the total solar eclipse from Vincennes, Indiana yesterday. And again, if you were watching our live stream coverage, we saw it live at about almost 90% totality. And then unfortunately, we lost the stream just before we had complete total totality. Total totality, that sounds great. But you get the picture there. What an amazing shot there. I hope you had an opportunity to see some of the photographs and some of the videography from this total solar eclipse. Absolutely amazing. We appreciate his work. And again, just a really phenomenal thing to see. Okay, let's get into the forecast. And as we do so, thank you so much for liking the video. On this Tuesday, we have some areas where the clouds are really thick, and we've had some rain and temperatures in the 70s, and that's where I want to start right now. And it's the same areas that have had some healthy and higher rain chances over the last several days. That is portions of Hispaniola, especially the Dominican Republic, and then Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. I mean, look at these current temperatures here on this Tuesday afternoon. Puerto Plata, 77. Santiago de los Caballeros trying to climb to the upper 70s. The clouds are thick and the rain is abundant right now over the Dominican Republic. We've had spots of heavier rain, the thicker cloud coverage, even down towards Santo Domingo. They've been able to slide up to 84 degrees, but there's been some showers around there. Same thing for my friends in Punta Cana. It's been a relatively wet period for them, and the heavier shower potential will continue at least for the next couple of days. We'll talk much more about that coming up. Obviously, it's not 43 degrees there in St. Thomas, but you get the idea that over portions of Puerto Rico, we've had some showers. Now, let me throw on the radar from San Juan here real quickly. And although the clouds are like really thick right now, the rain is actually really spotty, okay? And that's kind of been the trend. We've stayed with thicker clouds throughout the day. Then we've got some showers kind of drifting in during the afternoon hours. And it's actually been a little bit more prominent still during the evening and portions of the overnight. But a wetter forecast for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands is going to be sticking around. And with this extra cloud coverage, look at San Juan at just 81 degrees. The cooler weather is going to be around here for the next several days to go along with that thicker cloud coverage as well. Okay, back over to the loop here. Let me throw that back into motion. And again, temperatures are area dependent. St. Croix there, Christiansted, around the upper 80s. It's a little bit cooler in Road Town there in the British Virgin Islands. We'll talk more about some higher surf coming back into portions of the Leeward Islands here over the next couple of days, but there will be a high surf advisory in effect for the northern Leeward Islands starting later tonight. For my friends in Barbados, we are going to start to see some surf and sea conditions kick up beginning on our late Wednesday and into Thursday. It's been more sunshine. It's been drier there. Dominica has slid all way into the 90s today. You can see some lower 90s there, and it is humid as well. So pretty hot outside of that thicker cloud coverage for most of the Leeward Islands. Trinidad and Tobago above 90 degrees in most spots. Same thing for the ABC Islands. We're nudging right around 94 daytime high. My friends in Jamaica, Kingston at or above 90 degrees. We'll look at trying to get some better rain chances in that area coming up. One area that continues to just absolutely swelter is Belize, San Ignacio, at that site, at least at 104. But again, one of our friends here of the channel drops in from time to time who lives in San Ignacio, and typically their temperature is way higher than what we're actually seeing on this actual sensor. But it's stifling. That being said, we are going to get some cooler weather coming into the Belize in short order. Nice little storm system developing in the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Temperatures right now throughout the Bahamas have been pretty pleasant. Nassau and Freeport, Lucaya areas right around 80 for a daytime high. Okay, let's get into the rain over the next 5 days. So we talked about some of the hot areas. Are any of these areas going to cool down because we've got some better rain chances? Well, the first thing is that the moisture is going to become a little bit more abundant here as we get towards mid to late week. Now, I've talked about all of these temperatures being fairly hot. We've mentioned the very hot ocean temperatures, and we're getting more heavier rain back into the forecast. I'm telling you right now, friends, this is our transition month into more of a tropical forecast, okay? Typically, it's May, right? Where they would transition into June 1st for the official start of hurricane season. But tell me in the comments section below. Everything I've looked at, your weather looks a lot more like it's already May or even into summertime, June, maybe even July, with some of the heat that you have been seeing lately, the humidity, and even some of the moisture. So let me know if you agree with that. But everything I'm seeing is that we're starting that transition early here in April. And part of that is getting more moisture to be feeding back in with this easterly wind. Now, that is going to certainly be the scenario in the northern side of the Leeward Islands, the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic over the next several days, where rain chances each and every afternoon are going to be high. It may not total a lot of rain in your area, but again, as we get through today, let me switch it all the way back to this evening, you can still see there's going to be rain around tonight, as I mentioned, through portions of the Leeward Islands like St. Kitts and Nevis and Saba and St. Martin and Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, all have opportunities for showers. Same thing for all of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. It'll be scattered in nature, but that opportunity is there even through tomorrow morning. And this is just an area that's going to stay wet. There is a shear line or an axis, if you will, of moisture as basically kind of laying right across here, these islands, and it's promoting higher rain chances for the next several days. Eventually that shear line will kind of fade away and the rain chances will begin to go down a bit. But look, this is, getting into our Friday and into the weekend here where the rain chances are still relatively high. I think as we slip into Saturday and Sunday, we'll start to see it fall apart a bit, but you still see a fair amount of green on the map here. Even as we move into Sunday, it's going to be a relatively wet forecast, and we'll take a look at totals coming up in just a minute. But again, let's zoom into Puerto Rico, and you can see from my friends in San Juan and Ponce and Arecibo and Fajardo, places like that, Mayagüez, it's going to stay relatively wet. You should expect a relatively cloudy forecast. You should expect a relatively wet forecast. And because of that, you should actually expect things to be a little bit on the cooler side. So for San Juan, over the next 5 days, for tomorrow, it's a 60% chance for scattered showers and a high of just 80 degrees. 40% on Thursday, relatively wet Friday, Saturday. I think we're going to start to see the drier air nudge in on Sunday. It's going to be breezy as we start to dry things out, but temperatures will be quite lovely. They're actually just in the lower 80s. We'll look at the potential of total rain in your area coming up here in just a second. It's about the same forecast from our friends in the Dominican Republic, from Puerto Plata all the way down to where Santo Domingo and Punta Cana, where daily showers are in the forecast. Just a relatively wet pattern, and portions of the Dominican Republic could have several inches of rain between now and Sunday. So that's what I expect us to see here. And again, you can see the showers just continuing to drift across the island. And it's not just this area. The Turks and Caicos will be included in this. Portions of Cuba. We'll get to the Jamaica forecast coming up in just a minute. Now, we're going to start to see the winds increase. A high surf advisory will go into effect tonight for the northern side of the Leeward Islands to go along with some of these spotty showers in this area. I've already mentioned some of the areas that could get some rain. Montserrat and Guadalupe would certainly be included in it. And we've had temperatures there in the lower 90s lately that'll help to try and cool things down. Dominica, decent chance for some showers. It won't be as prominent as areas to the north, but again, more moisture, better opportunity for some rain. Martinique, I'm going to put in the same boat. I think when you get from St. Lucia south, we start to see that moisture fade a bit. So there won't be as much rain for places like Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia. But zooming into Barbados and just kind of stair-stepping this, the rain will at least have a chance to develop almost every afternoon. We can see some spotty showers passing from east to west across the island. I think there's a better chance for rain for the weekend ahead. I don't think there's going to be a ton of rain overall, but it doesn't mean the island couldn't catch a couple of showers. We'll start to see swells increase, especially on the western side of Barbados, and then the offshore waters beginning late tomorrow night. As late Wednesday night, and then throughout the day, at least on Thursday, and I'll be monitoring that situation for all of the island chain. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, which have actually enjoyed some showers as of last week, have been a little bit drier here lately. I expect a couple of passing showers there, but again, no bigger chance for rain in this area. It's very clear to see where the moisture is feeding into, and that is the northern side of the island chain through the Greater Antilles. Now, the ABC Islands will continue to relatively be high and dry and be very hot. Temperatures there in the afternoon hours, again, well above 30 degrees Celsius across most of the islands. My friends in Jamaica, it's been hot. Let me know how you've been feeling here. Again, we've been well above 90 for a daytime high in the Kingston area. As far as rain chances go, it's going to be very spotty. I do expect some showers on this late Tuesday afternoon, early evening. Isolated in nature, but you've got an opportunity to at least get some rain there. As a matter of fact, here, if I put on, I'm gonna try and put on the satellite imagery here real quick. Let me get back here. I want to just show my friends in Jamaica something real quick here, and then we'll get back into the forecast. So you can see that on this live visible satellite imagery, we do have some thicker clouds trying to develop along the northeast coastline. Hopefully that will promote some inland rain as it moves off towards the west. We get into a little bit of the hillier terrain there, central western side of the island, at least a couple of showers coming up. If nothing else, Ocho Rios towards Port Antonio will be slightly cooler in the afternoon thanks to the thicker cloud coverage. All right, just wanted to show you that satellite presentation. Stick with me here. Let me get back over to the rain, and then we'll take a look at some of the other areas as well. So let's go back to the forecast. As I'm doing so, again, thank you for liking the video. If you're not a subscriber here at Meteo Mundo, click that subscribe button for you right now. So what does the rain chance look like in Jamaica the next 5 days? As I've mentioned, it's spotty. I expect some showers today. I expect a few showers tomorrow on the 10th. And then it's really pot luck. There is a little bit of moisture coming in with our easterly winds. I don't have anything concentrated for you guys. Relatively speaking, if you catch a shower or two the next 5 days in Jamaica, that would probably be considering yourself somewhat lucky. Montego Bay for tomorrow, windy and hot, 90 in Montego Bay. Look, it's going to be hot across the island. Really steamy, feels like temperatures at or above 100 degrees. All right, keep that in mind. 30% chance for showers on Thursday. Then we're drier Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Can't rule out a couple of passing showers here and there, but relatively speaking, the forecast for Montego Bay back down towards Kingston is dominated by the heat and the humidity. I know you guys have been already feeling a lot. Again, it doesn't feel like April, does it? Let me know in the comments section below. By the way, if you'd like to become a member here at Meteo Mundo, those memberships are available. It's just a way to support the channel if you'd like. It's just 99 cents a month. You get access to exclusive member-only videos and custom badges and emojis when we start going live again, which as we get closer to hurricane season, I'm prepping. We'll be doing a lot more of that as well. All right, back over to what's going to be happening here for my friends in Belize. I do have some reprieve coming your way as far as the temperature goes, and that comes in the form of some rain. Watch the showers begin to develop inland late tomorrow and then move across the coastline as we get into our Thursday and Friday. This is going to really help to drop the temperature inland and provide some relief in the way of some rain as well. So the rain chances in Belize will be going higher. It will help to cool things in inland locations back to the 90s on Wednesday, and probably, if the rain can stick around into early Thursday morning, keep us in the 80s. Some inland areas, at least into Thursday, Friday, but even into the weekend here, friends. You know, even into Saturday and Sunday, rain chances from San Pedro to Belize City and all the way down towards the Roatan area here, coastal Guatemala and Honduras, all included fairly healthy rain totals. Now, there are other areas of the Central American coastline I do want to highlight as well. I do expect some heavier rain for portions of Costa Rica and Panama over the next 5 days, and we'll look at your rainfall totals coming up as well. Scattered rain for the Cayman Islands, but many dry hours and locations there. Now, for my friends in the Bahamas, another cold front coming in Thursday, Friday. But we got to remember the time of the year. It is April, and we're starting to lose the punch of those fronts from the United States southeast. The next one that comes in, look how it fades as it moves into the northwest Bahamas. We're going to get a wind shift. We're going to get some rain coming in probably late Thursday into Friday, but the core of the energy with this system is going to stay up to the north of our area. But again, this is typical. These fronts begin to fade in April. Now, what's the next piece of the puzzle is when the fronts begin to stall across the Bahamas, and then we get days of potential heavier rain, and that looks to be the next step in the progression of these fronts as we move through the rest of the month. I do want to highlight real quickly the wind gusts here. So what you're looking at, it's not wind direction. Generally speaking, the winds are coming out of the east, but what you're looking at is intensity of winds over the next 5 days. In oranges and reds and into the pinks, we're getting over 30 knots. And there is going to be a heck of a lot of wind coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that. That will impact portions of the Central American coastline. It's certainly going to drive over Florida and portions of the Bahamas as it heads towards Bermuda. So windy weather coming on. We're also going to catch some good wind in the ABC Islands. I expect some gusts there above 30 knots. Some of that fresh breeze will hit places like Jamaica. And with the cloudier skies, we've had some 25 to 30 mile an hour winds in Puerto Rico today, and a fairly fresh easterly breeze will continue. And again, that's that moisture, that shear axis I'm talking about. It's almost kind of lining up right now with where some of the stronger winds are going to be. So let's answer the big question. How much rain could your area get over the next 5 days? Let me do one thing here. I'm going to take it out just a little bit longer here. See, the 14th at 2 a.m. Let's do the 14th by 11 p.m. That's a solid 5+ days. So what we're looking at here is the total amount of rain between right now and as we get into Sunday. What does that look like? Well, again, a lot of blue on the map. That's generally less than an inch of rain. But for April, I'm seeing a lot more purples and pinks, and it's the areas that I mentioned. Let's start off in the Guadalupe, Dominica side, where we could have some spots across the islands on the eastern side trying to get up to maybe 2+ inches of rain. Very healthy totals there. Antigua, over an inch of rain. St. Kitts and Nevis, Saba, there's Barbuda, there's St. Bartholomew, Anguilla, and St. Martin, all with the potential for an inch or more. And again, don't look at any one number, but if we're kind of taking a look at some of the averages here, here's St. Croix of an inch of rain right along the coastline of Puerto Rico. Again, it's pretty solid with maximums on the model, maybe 1.5 to even 2 inches of rain in this area. So solid totals, no doubt about it. Same thing for the Dominican Republic. May not be as heavy, but we could still pick up an inch of rain near Santo Domingo and on the eastern shoreline. And again, if this core, which again is punched nearly 2 inches of rain, slips a little north, now we put the heavier rain right over some of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Let me clear that off real quick, and then we'll bring it back on and we'll look at some of the other rainfall totals. As I mentioned, there's not going to be as much in Barbados or St. Vincent and Trinidad and Tobago, maybe 1/4 inch of rain, maybe you get a shower or two out of the next 5 days. Very dry in the ABC Islands, but also very windy. For my friends in Jamaica, again, if we catch some rain, it's going to add up to at least a little bit here. It's going to be 1/4 to 1/2 inch in most spots. We're trying to pan on a little bit of rain, a little bit heavier amounts towards Port Antonio and the eastern side of the island, but for Westmoreland and Montego Bay and Savannah Lamar and Negril, Mandeville and Maypen and Portmore and Spanish Town, I'll name them all my friends there. There's Old Harbor, you get it. We're coming in pretty close to about 1/4 inch in most spots over the next 5 days. I hope you get some of that rain. But again, how much is that going to really help the heat and the humidity? Not a ton. Heck of a lot of rain along the coastline of Costa Rica and Panama. Hopefully most of that stays offshore. Maybe you could use a little bit of that rain, but that's where I'm seeing some of the heaviest activity. And it's the same situation, again, for portions of coastal Belize, where Belize City might have close to 2 inches of rain, southern sides of the country there, and then back towards Guatemala, right there, just offshore, maybe over 2 inches of rain. But look, even San Ignacio is forecast to get over 1 inch of rain, and that again will help the temperatures drive that down. You got plans to be in Cancun. We're going to have some spotty rain there. It could add up quickly to 1 inch of rain, but relatively speaking, it's going to fall in a short amount of time, and I'm not too concerned overall about that. And again, as I mentioned, in the Bahamas, we're just not going to get a lot of rain with our next storm system. Spotty rain coming in late Thursday, Friday could spell less than a quarter of an inch of rain for the island chain. Even the Turks and Caicos, even though they're kind of closer to that shear axis, don't have a lot of rain for you guys either as well. All right, friends, you know, you can find us across all of social media. Instagram, we do some special and exclusive stuff on TikTok, X, Facebook. You want to send me a picture or a video, or you have a business inquiry, mymediamundo@gmail.com. Thank you so much for liking the video and subscribing. If you have a specific question about the forecast, drop that in the comment section below. Have a great rest of your day, friends. You know, I'll see you soon with your forecast right here at Meteo Mundo.